What does Headingley mean to an Australian?
It's a good question. I've only played here once. So I played here against Pakistan a few years back, actually. But I can tell you one thing, the lunches, the first 2 days we've been here have been sensational. So hats off to the people involved here. But no, look, it's, as I've said before, it's always special to be on an Ashes tour, whether you're at Headingley or Edgbaston or Lords. It's England's a great place to play cricket and we thoroughly enjoy it.
The coach sat there yesterday. How do you as a team fill what he called the almost unfillable shoes of Steve Smith?
Well, we do it as a team. I think, as he's touched on, there's not too many guys, or there's one other that have averaged higher than Steve in Test cricket. So clearly they're huge shoes to fill, and we don't put all that pressure on Marnus. Marnus comes in to play a role in our team, and it's up to everyone else, particularly our senior players, to just make sure we give that little bit more output and cover Steve as best we can.
Daniel down the back.
Tim, have you got a team, and if not, what are the permutations that you're looking at?
I haven't got a team yet. We'll probably announce that at the toss. We're obviously looking at maybe a bowling change at this stage, but again, we'll get through training today and make again the best decision we think is the best combination to win this game. So, sorry to bore you with the same answer, but that's all I can give you at this stage.
Just one on Headingley as well. The Lords, you've got the slope here. You've got the hill, or the
Yep.
up and down. Is that a consideration in terms of the bowlers? Do you need sort of a up the hill / into the wind type to support the guys who attack from the other end?
I don't think so. I think it's important that guys get here, and we've had a couple of days here now for the bowlers to come and have a bit of a bowl. Granted, it's not on the centre wicket, but out on the wicket block. And again, guys, you get, like you said, you play in different conditions with different run-ups and different surfaces all the time, and that's part and parcel of being a professional cricketer. And whatever lineup we pick, we expect the guys will be able to handle it or adapt to it really quickly.
Chris?
Tim, just another one on Steve. What does his next week look like in terms of getting back to training and playing? I suppose he's got his eye on that Derbyshire tour game.
Yeah.
And also, how's he taken it that he can't play? I mean, he's missed a lot of international cricket in the last 18 months for other reasons, so he obviously is very, very keen to play. How's he been?
Yeah, he's disappointed. Obviously, he's also in really good form. He's been playing really well, so he's disappointed not to be playing, but he, along with the rest of our group, understand why he isn't. And in terms of his next week, I'm not too sure. I think he'll probably just lightly build up as the week goes on, and he'll be continually monitored. And if he keeps progressing well, then I guess he starts batting straight away and full training, and with the view to him playing, I suppose, as quickly as possible if everything goes well. But as we've said, there's a strong sort of medical process in place that Steve's got to tick a lot of boxes to make sure he's ready to go, and our medical staff are then comfortable with him playing.
Archer bowled pretty quickly at Lord and hit a couple of the guys on the head. Have you changed, or will you change your sort of training or preparation as a consequence of that for preparing for this match?
Yeah, I think you're always preparing for the next game and what you think you're going to face. So obviously we copped some short pitch bowling. I think guys prepared for it last week, but it's another thing facing it. And guys, as I touched on yesterday, guys have got plans in place and we've prepared really well for it. It's now about going out and executing it. And we think the Lord's wicket was quite a difficult one to face short pitch bowling on. So we're interested to see how this wicket plays. But again, it's about adapting to the situation, the wicket, and what any of their bowlers are trying to do. We've got to have a plan to counter that, and I know our boys will.
So Rory, Ali, Mel.
Tim, at the start of the series, Josh Hazlewood said that he thought Jason Roy might struggle opening the batting in Test cricket. Trevor Bayliss yesterday said he probably thought Jason was a middle order batsman who was doing a job. Do you feel like you guys have sort of got the sign on him?
No, not really. Again, I think opening the batting in Test cricket in England is difficult. I know our guys are struggling a little bit as well to get the runs they would like, and I just think it's it's international cricket. It's tough. We've seen Jason Roy play amazing innings in one-day cricket. We saw David Warner do the same thing in the early days of his career, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get used to Test cricket and the differences in that. But as I said, we've seen that Jason's a highly skilled batsman, and on his day can take a game away from you. So at no point do we think or treat him like we've got the wood over him. We've got to keep fronting up and making sure we execute really well to him, because we do know the talent that he's got.
Tim, it's similar to John's question about Jofra, but can I just ask what the kind of chat is in the dressing room when a guy's bowling like that, and then subsequently in terms of those plans? Is there a bit of sort of humour, and do you try and keep the mood light, or are people kind of a little bit nervous?
It doesn't change a lot, to be honest. As I said, most of those planning meetings are done with batting coaches or our head coach, and everyone's going to be different. We're all different players, so I think when someone's bowling fast like that and the crowd's up and about, it's exciting. Your adrenaline starts pumping, and it's exciting. I think it's great for Test match cricket. I think the interest that it's sort of sparked in the last week, 10 days, has been great for the game. And I think people that have been watching it have thoroughly enjoyed it. So, we're looking forward to the challenge again this week.
I guess on a similar theme, you sometimes do sort of see in international cricket when players get hit on the head, it can kind of affect the way that they, mentally, the way that they face short pitch bowling. Are you concerned that any of the three guys who got hit on the head will have any issues with that? And is that something that you kind of have to address on the mental side with them in a way?
No, I don't think so. I think Steve loves batting. I don't think that's going to change. Marnus is strange. He seems to enjoy getting hit on the head, so he's a different kettle of fish altogether. But I think it has happened at times. But I think the guys that have, as I said, Marnus has handled it himself exceptionally. I thought his innings was unbelievable after that happened, and as I said, Steve Smith's the best player in the world. He will come back next test, if it's next test or the tour game, and we're expecting, no doubt, it'll be the same old Steve Smith. He's a high-quality player, and he'll adapt as he always has.
Bharat and then Dino.
Tim, you've spoken a lot about discipline and control with the ball throughout this series, but some periods at Lords, did you feel like you lost control because the strike rates were pretty high, or was it just to do with the conditions and not being able to defend at Lords?
I think Ben Stokes played a pretty good innings as well. I think you've got to give him credit there. But, I think Lords can be a fast scoring ground, and so can this one. And it just happened to be that the rain, I think, sort of pushed the game forward really quickly and almost turned particularly day 5 into a one-day game. And we know that England are the best in the world at that game. So we thought that really suited them. We thought we could have handled things a little bit better. But at the same time, I think we had them 6 for 130 in the first innings and 4 for 60 in the second. So we still thought we had some opportunities there to break the game open. But as I said, as the game played out, we know when they're in that sort of mood, particularly Stokes and Butler and Bairstow, they're hard for anyone to stop. So if we get in that situation again, we'll do some things slightly differently.
Tim, as an international captain, and the work that's gone into having concussion assessments and substitutes is clearly a good thing. Do you have any thoughts on why other injuries might not merit a substitution, or why players may be able to put themselves in harm's way when they have injuries in other parts of their body? Yeah,
well, I think what it is that concussion you don't always have, and head injuries you don't always have the obvious symptoms. So again, we've had protocols and processes put in place, and again, Cricket Australia have led the way in that, and our playing group and our staff certainly support everything they're doing to improve player safety and player welfare around the game of cricket. I think that's the obvious reason, is it the symptoms aren't always there for everyone to see.
But what about other injuries and being able to be substituted for broken fingers, broken arms, whatever?
Well, again, I think that's just bad luck. Again, I think with a concussion one at times, if someone has had concussion, I think the temptation is if you're 9 down and there's an over to go, you'll send someone out. And I think this way you safeguard against that. Obviously, head injuries are a lot more serious than finger or arm injuries.
Last one, Julia. Oh, sorry, second last one, because Sammy wants to say something. Sorry, Sammy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just wondered, how do you go about sort of preparing to face bouncers, given that you're then running the same risk potentially of being hit on the head?
You put all the gear on and you get in there. And that's as simple as it is. I mean, we understand the risks playing the game of cricket, but as I said, I think Cricket Australia has led the way in trying to improve safety and look after the players. And, I think you'll notice a hell of a lot more stem guards and all that sort of stuff on guys' helmets going forward.
On Sammy, finish us off.
Tim, just on Pat Cummins, he played all the World Cup. He's played 2 Test matches now. How's he feeling physically?
He's pretty good. No complaints from him so far. I think he's, in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, his body's really matured and he can handle a really big workload. And, not only do you see a high level of skill from Pat all the time, but he's highly competitive as well. So he's a great weapon for us. And someone that we certainly need to look after, but at this stage he's handling the workload really well, and he's a super professional in the way he prepares himself, the way he looks after his body. So at the moment he's going really well.